good day. Beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. If you're good-looking, so always looking for and finding the good. You found good in abundance because you conscientiously tuned into Eye on Las Vegas with your humble host, Barry Shore, the ambassador of joy. Notice I didn't say the ambassador of joy. The ambassador of joy. And you know that we deliver to you some of the most amazing, interesting, upbeat, powerful, energetic people in the world, and you're about to meet one of them who's really shaking up the world with what he does, and it's so good. That's what Marc is all about. It's good. So I just want to make mention, I am privileged to speak to millions of people every month through my podcast. I in Las Vegas, the joy of living, 500,000 people right now tuned in, and you're always urging your family and friends to join, and we urge you, just share this with 5 people. You want to share with 50 or 100, that's great. But 5 at least, and we can touch 2 million people around the world. And there's always people coming in. So thank you so much for recommending, because it's alive, isn't it? It's a great short podcast, and you're going to love meeting Marc. So I just want to mention, whenever I talk about where I live, which is Henderson, Nevada, outside of Las Vegas, right away, people hear Las Vegas, they lean in, open up their ears, open their eyes, and they say, tell me more. Because Las Vegas is the most happening city in the world. Everybody knows about Las Vegas. I want to tell you one amazing thing about this particular place, Las Vegas. If you take the entire population of New York City, and everybody lives around it, the entire population of Chicago, everybody lives around it, the entire population of Los Angeles, and everybody lives around it, and add in the entire population of the state of Florida, it only equals the number of people that come to Las Vegas in a year. 41 million people a year come here. Why? Because it's electric, with energy, upbeat. And you're going to meet one of the most upbeat, amazing people in the world right now. Say hello, please, Marc Beilin. Please.
Shalom, Mr. Barry Shore, member of my tribe. I'm blessed to be here. Mazel tov. I'm blessed. Happy Friday. Happy Shabbos. Good Shabbos, brother.
Thank you. Wonderful, fabulous Marc. So I'm going to tell you 3 things about Marc. Number 1, he's eclectic. That's another E word. Number 2, he's happily married with a family. That's an important thing. And number 3, he is focused and put his time and energy into creating something called On Marc TV, which is the number 1 most viewed Roku global streaming network in the world. So we're going to talk about what it is that you do, why you're doing it, and what should people know. So start with, hey, Marc, who are you? Who cares?
Well, it's kind of funny that we're doing this interview, because I was just about to do another interview. I'm at a local coffee shop here in Mesa, Arizona called Bean Chain Coffee under David Baxter. My friend Ryan Winkle is a big politician out here in Brantford, a lot of offices and Filipino American Association. And he's inviting me to do an interview for small businesses out here, because I help support small businesses also. On the Marc TV, M-A-R-C TV, that's me, is on number 1 on Roku. We are a massive channel. We partner with Easy Way TV, nonprofit TV, we have the tremendous content by a beautiful woman named Maureen Cooper, who we all send wishes to her right now. We have all kinds of people that are involved in this. And Kurt Roscoff, Sue Roscoff, and Brian Gibson of PDH. There's a lot of people involved in this community. There's a lot of people involved in everything. And it's kind of funny how Barry's doing this. I was born a Jew back in New Jersey, where I've been Jewish for 64 years. Kind of weird. I married a Muslim woman 20 years ago. Maybe that's why I'm a goodwill ambassador for United Peace Federation. So half the world thinks I'm Jewish, the other half of the world thinks I'm Muslim. So that's a little bit about me. I'm also an international best-selling author. I'm also a congressional award winner. I'm a lot of things, guys. So Barry, go for it.
So why did you begin this remarkable, fast-growing, impacting process called On the Marc TV? Why did you do this?
Well, if you know the history of television, the Jewish people controlled it. I mean, my Michael Lerner, Lorne Michaels, Steven Spielberg, Jeffrey Katzenberg, Jerry Seinfeld, all the people, all the Larry David, Sammy Davis Jr., show business is Jewish. I mean, it is. It's part of the tribe. It's part of our natural. So I was raised by television. Both my parents worked. I was babysitted by television. I grew up in New York, New Jersey area, and I used to change the TV with my feet. And I loved television. I was babysitted by it. And I was Saturday morning cartoons. I'd come home, babysit by TV, watch TV under my blanket, whatever it took. And so when I got the opportunity about 3 years ago to buy a television channel, I did. And
wait a minute. This is fascinating. What do you mean? What do you mean you bought a television channel?
I met a gentleman. I'm not going to mention his name because we're no longer friends, and I'm not going to give him publicity. So what happened was I was at an event called the $1 Million Mingle, ran by AC Caswell in Arizona. And there was a young lady selling cigars. And the next day, there was an opportunity to buy a TV channel. So he said, you could buy it. It was a network it was a network that was part of another network. That was part of like Arizona, different things. And when I first heard, I could buy a TV channel, and I bought it for honestly $15,000. But here was the thing: no content.
Wait a minute, this is amazing. I want you to understand something, Mark. And
it's okay.
Thank God we have a global community.
Yes, sir.
People listening here from Pakistan, Baluchistan, from all.
Assalamu alaikum, shalom.
Okay, so India, all over the world, the television and radio is controlled by the state in every other country of the world except the United States. And that's why everybody wants to come to the United States. So I tell people, you don't need to come here. You need to have a American mentality. But here's a guy in a state called Arizona, which is not one of the most populous states in the world, populous. It's a very popular state. And he says, he's able to buy a television channel. Now, so people say, wait a minute, that's amazing. You now own a channel. As he's about to tell us, he bought a channel that has no content. So what good is a channel without content, Mark?
Right. So what happened was, I went on a mission. I had that old school mindset. I was a big WWE fan. So Vince McMahon and Ted Turner, because I was in New Jersey in the early 70s, around 75. Cable television under Suburban Cablevision on my Edagun brought cable television for the first time in history to New York. And I lived 8 miles from New York City, directly in front of it, 8 miles away. So my family was the first family on this block to get cable television. So I've had cable television since the mid 70s, where you can only watch. It's when Ted Turner signed the contracts and WGN, the superstation, and Ted Turner had TBS, TNT, and TMC. And that was the only way it was going to be popular. Because other than that, it was just local channels and your standard ABC, NBC, and CBS. So what happened was once he started that, a couple of years later, we had MTV, right? 1979. You had different channels like HBO started out, Showtime. All these channels came along. First MTV came along in 1979. ESPN started in 1979, and cable television would start to be built. And then all these other channels came along, movie channels, entertainment channels. And then it started growing and growing. It started out with about 20 channels, and now it grew to unlimited channels. So now cable television is kind of like obsolete, like everything else. So what happens is now it's all streaming television. So now you get most of your entertainment from Netflix, Hulu, Paramount, and all these major networks. Like NBC has Peacock and ABC has Hulu, and now and Netflix was Redbox. And now you're paying each month to have streaming television into your home. So I pay for cable TV, I pay for streaming television, I pay $300 a month for television, but I'm addicted to it, so I don't drink, I don't smoke, I pay for television. So what happened was but mine's
Mark, let me interrupt and ask a question. You ready? Uh-oh, you just froze. Okay, I'm going to ask a question, and when he comes back after being freezing, I'm going to ask him, what is streaming? What does that mean? Mark, you are frozen. Can you unfreeze yourself? Way to unfreeze. We're going to try something here, everybody who's watching. I'm going to remove him and add him. Okay, Mark, we're trying to add you. Mark, can you hear us? Okay, we have a technical difficulty, everybody. I love technical difficulties because that's the nature of the beast. Okay, Mark I believe, is going to go out and come back in so he can give us the answer. What exactly is streaming TV. How is that different than regular TV, cable TV? What does it mean to stream? Does that mean using the cloud? And if you're using the cloud, that means anybody can be streaming. Is that what it's about? So we're going to find out in just a moment when Mark comes back in, and I'm just going to be with, just give us all a little bit of time, and I hope you enjoy listening to me in the interim. Let me see what you.
I don't think it was me. I think it was you because it just died.
No, wait a minute. I come back in.
I'm trying right now.
Okay, thank you. Bye. I tell you, I love when things go bump in the night, because that's what really life is all about. What you do with things that are unexpected. And it's really one of the ways to sort of measure, not even sort of, to measure your ability to function well in the world. What happens when things don't go the way you want, the way you expected? What do you do about that? Do you put your hands over your head, start crying? Or do you sit and say, okay, now what do I do? How do we use this time to be able to bring back Mark and say, wow, Mark, we love you, just like I did. Okay, so Mark, here's the question on the table. You ready?
Yes, sir.
What is streaming? How is that different than cable or broadcast TV? What does streaming mean?
Cable TV will always come through cables. It comes through your house. It comes in. It goes into your. It uses electricity in your home. It comes into your home through a cable. All right, a dedicated cable. Streaming television comes off satellites. It comes from the sky. So streaming television is different than cable television. So and when streaming television doesn't necessarily answer to FCC. So I'm an independent channel owned by myself, and I'm on multiple streaming channels. But I can go on. Like you take ESPN. ESPN owns ABC and Disney, right? They own 3 networks. All right. Myself, I'm an umbrella company. I have 15 different networks under me, and I can have up to 100 networks under me. So I actually have more opportunities for more viewers than ESPN, Disney, cable, HBO, all those people.
Okay. So one moment. So now you said streaming is by satellite.
Right.
When I think of satellite, I think of DirecTV or Dish. Does one need a satellite dish to be able?
No, you don't. What happens is it's internet based. It's off the internet. I run off so my streaming host is called Streaming Pulse out of Canada. You take a channel like Roku. Roku's big, right, with millions and millions of viewers. And then you have the NFL, which has millions and millions of viewers. Amazon owns AWS. That's their streaming network, and they stream for Roku, and they also stream for the NFL. Me, I stream with Streaming Pulse. And if you go to Streaming Pulse and download it on your phone through Streaming Pulse, you can stream your channels through Streaming Pulse. All right. And that way you don't break down, you don't lose your channel. And the great part about Streaming Pulse, if you open it up on Streaming Pulse and open that app, on the first page is On the Mark TV. I'm on the first page. But if you go to like the third page, you have whatchamacallit.
Yes.
If you go over Streaming Pulse, you have and on the third page is the NBA. Okay.
Okay. So 1 second. By the way, you don't have to write anything down. Everything is going to be in the show notes, because Mark is a fire hose of information and wonderful things. So we're going to go to a quick commercial break. We have
Sure.
to love us. We're going to be right back. Don't go away, everybody. Mark is here on the Mark TV. Get set, go. We'll be right back after this brief message. Opportunity. What an opportunity. I'm going to use 2 4-letter words right now. Free gift. Free gift. Yes. You can have a copy of my best-selling book, The Joy of Living, How to Slay Stress and Be Happy, the ebook version, for absolutely free. All you have to do is send an email to me, Barry, Barry, at barryshore.com, and in the heading, the subject line, just write free gift. It's as easy as that. This is a life-changing, life-enhancing opportunity. Barry at barryshore.com. You'll be glad you did. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Free gift. Do it now. Take the action. Make it happen right now. Best wishes. Bye. Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. Maybe you're good-looking, so always looking for and finding the good. We found good in abundance. Our cup runneth over with good. His name is Marc Beilin. He is on the Mark TV. He is the #1 most viewed Roku global streaming network in the world. So I have a quick question for you. You mentioned something called Streaming Pulse. Is that
Yes, sir.
Pulse? Streaming Pulse. So,
Yes, sir.
that means I'm understanding, since it's internet-based, cloud-based, that means that anybody in the world can see on the Mark TV. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. And okay. So Streaming Pulse is my streaming host. They're out of Canada. So if you open up Streaming Pulse on your app, there's hundreds that there's live TV on there. There's radio. There's a lot of. They're a big host out of Canada. They're one of the biggest, and that's my streaming host. So they keep my channel up and running all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. The NBA also uses Streaming Pulse. Okay. Most of the companies out there use Streaming Pulse. The only ones that use the Amazon AWS is the biggest, which is like the NFL, Next Gen Stats, Roku. They use NFL, they use Amazon AWS. But most people, everybody else, like the NBA also is included, use Streaming Pulse or other streaming hosts.
So let's talk about the numbers, because you and I are big fans of one of the most remarkably gifted, inspirational coaches in the history of the world, Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn always talked about scoreboard.
Yes, sir.
It's one thing to talk. It's another to perform. So
yes, sir.
Give us some stats, Mr. Beilin.
Okay, perfect. So when I was with another company out of Arizona, the most I could have ever reached was 150,000 people across the world. That was the most. And that's why I didn't want to be with them anymore. That's not enough. So what happened was I met a beautiful young woman named Maureen Cooper, who was helping building channels like Roku for the last 30 years and has unbelievable amounts of content. But was buying 200 Blu-rays and DVDs a day. And when I met her, I was able to shut down my other channel, rebrand myself as On the Mark MERC Television again. But what happened was she put me on Roku. And because of her connections, she built on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the end of August, put me on Roku, got a letter, you're going to be on Wednesday. It was the first week of September. And as soon as I went on live, all right, I went live. There's a couple of bugs you work out, and then everything comes together, all right? And then what happened was, you're not supposed to hit 100,000 viewers for up to 30 to 60 days. I had 433,000 viewers my first week, just on Roku US, just on Roku US. By the end of the month, I was hitting millions. I was breaking records. So the way Roku works is you have what they call tiers. So I was on the first tier. So you're every time you hit 20,000 viewers, you're supposed to pay the reason nobody hits these numbers, these are numbers that Roku uses to generate, statistics, analytics. But the problem was nobody ever reaches it. Maureen was building channels for 25 years and no one ever reached the tier. I hit the tier by 8 o'clock in the morning, then 7 o'clock in the morning, and 6 o'clock in the morning. And then I was hitting it by 1 o'clock in the morning. I was in that 20,000 tier. So by the time the midnight showed up again, I was in 100,000, 150,000, 200,000 people per day. Okay. And I was breaking records each and every day. So then at the end of October, at the end of September, I was in the millions. Then October rolled along, I was in the millions. Then when November rolled along, so after 90 days, that's when your numbers count. That's when everybody takes position of what you do. So on December 4th, one of the biggest ad agencies in the world said, hey, Mark, guess what? We want to start dropping ads on your television network. And because of Maureen's connections and stuff like that, I started doing that. And you make television, there's two ways to make television, to make money. Well, you sell ads, right? You can sell, like you can have an ad agency drop ads on you, right? And they pay you per 1,000 views. Or you can have Coca-Cola, Pepsi, McDonald's is what they, sponsors, all right? People like that. And so what happened was I got all that. So I created this, I had all this content. I had the best content in the world because Maureen owned all this content, licensed it. I could put 10 Commandments. I have Saturday morning cartoons, Sunday morning cartoons, kickboxing. I have all these other connections. And so I had so many viewers. And now not only am I on Roku, I'm on Streaming Pulse. I'm on Easy Way TV, Nonprofit TV. I stream across 20 different platforms. So I'm on the Mark TV has 15 networks underneath, and I stream on 24 platforms.
Okay, let me put you on pause for a moment because this is wondrous.
It's a lot. I'm sorry, it's a lot.
No, yeah. So people around the world are
it's a lot.
And so I urge everybody, don't take notes. Everything is in the show notes.
Well, the one thing, Barry, that I want to really mention first and foremost is a lot of people I walk up to say we don't watch television, and when people understand television, they think here's what happens: you go into your house, you turn on your remote, and you turn on television. Okay, that's television. But television is not television. Television is just a monitor. Me and you, Barry, we understand. It used to be tubes. It used to be, but now it's just a monitor. TVs are just monitors. So whether you're watching your phone or your laptop or whatever device you're using, that's a television. So when people say they don't watch television, if you turn on YouTube, Netflix, or anything, that's television. So when they tell me they don't watch television, they do watch television.
And it's growing exponentially. Now, I want to make mention of something because this is a fire hose. So, Mark, what is it about you that enabled you to break records like you just mentioned, that you got millions of people watching your content or Maureen's content or wherever it's coming from in the first 90 days? What is it that was unique about what Marc Beilin brought to the world?
That's exactly right. So what happened was back in 2020, my old man passed away. And what happened was he left me some money and I was looking for businesses. So what happened was I was looking for these businesses. I talk loud, right? So they were looking for these businesses, and now what happened was they decided to. So I was looking out. I joined a lot of networking groups, and I built my reputation. So in that process, I became affiliate of the year for a group in Arizona. Then I became an affiliate of the year for another group in Arizona, and now I just became affiliate of the year for another group in California, worldwide. So I've been affiliate of the year or entrepreneur of the year 3 years straight by 3 different organizations. I'm also a global ambassador for United Peace Federation, Universal Peace Federation. Universal Peace. I'm also a 2-time congressional award winner, and I'm also a 3-time international best-selling author for a book called The Art of Connection. So my reputation precedes me. So I know, and then half the world thinks I was Jewish. I married a Muslim woman, and I did that 10 years ago, and I went global with that because my wife's from Indonesia. Half the world, 50% of Muslims live there. That took me public. The Jewish people took me public. Everybody takes me public. So if you Google me, I'm very popular. I'm very well known. And so it was easy for me to reach out on my social media and just say, hey, guys, watch my channel. So all I did was send the hub. All right. We built a hub and people started clicking on it. And then people started watching it. And my content was so good that they kept watching it.
So, okay, wait a minute. You're right. You attract people with the dynamism of the content. Give us, if you be so kind, 2 examples
yes, sir.
that you have that really drove traffic. What was some of the content that people really loved when they tuned in to On the Mark TV?
Well, because of Maureen Cooper, she was buying DVDs and Blu-rays since 1996. Okay, so we had everything from 1950 to 2019. So I know television. I'm addicted to it, right? I was addicted to it since a child. So when November came along, like Thanksgiving, I said, hey, let's, instead of the 10 Commandments goes on once a year in April during Easter. It doesn't make sense to me that a major Jewish event like the 10 Commandments is on during Easter. All right, no disrespect, but it's not an Easter-based thing on television, and it got massive hits. And then I took a gentleman named Kenneth Hill Jr., who has a disability. He's an 18-time Aikido champion. He made me a 2-hour documentary.
Okay, it looks like we're having a. Okay, there you are, Mark.
There was a movie. Yeah, there was a movie called King Ralph. Okay, with John Goodman. It wasn't a big hit. It was John Goodman. He was they made him like he was the king of England. Okay. And so what happened was when Maureen went to encode it, because you have to encode things to fit television, right? So it has to fit the screens, right?
No,
so you encode it.
Wait a minute.
Right.
You say right, you have to encode it. Nobody knows what it is. What does that mean?
I'm sorry. So when you turn on a movie, like let's say you went to the movies and you watched Captain America, and it was made for a giant screen. If you notice, when it comes on regular television like TBS or TNT or Fox, it says this movie's been formatted to fit television. Right. That's encoding. It means it's formatted to fit screens.
Okay, so Maureen began encoding different movies. Now, don't you have to?
Okay, so what happened was here's a funny story. So she put the movie King Ralph, just a movie.
Mark.
But here's the funny part. She put it in.
Stop moving around. Stop moving. Just stay there. Go ahead. We missed you. We're not hearing you. We're having technical difficulties. Mark, our streaming is not streaming right now. It's more of a drip. Okay. We're dripping. We're not streaming. Keep going.
Okay. So what happens? They built it. So what happens? She dropped this movie called King Ralph with John.
Right.
Thing when she encoded it, she hit the wrong button, and it came out in German. And I'm like, why is this movie in German? And I'm tripping out, and I can hear it. I know German, right? So I was tripping out. I go, why is this in German? Well, the funny thing was, all of a sudden there was 800,000 people watching this movie in Germany. I didn't even promote it. I didn't do anything. She put it on a channel as content, and 800,000 people were watching it in Germany. They just picked it up in Germany. So all of a sudden there's 800,000 clicks in German to people in Germany. I don't even have that many people must be watching. So what happens is, here's the thing about television people really don't understand. If you go on the Mark TV and you go on my hub, or if you go on my www on the Mark TV, if you go .com, you'll see there's like viewership. We stopped it. It says like one viewer in Germany, or one viewer in Russia, or one viewer in the Philippines, or one viewer in Arabic. That's not one viewer. That's one main antenna, one main satellite that's picking up the signal and distributing throughout the country, throughout the world. So it's hubs, they call them. So that's why when they talk about ratings and they talk about these, like 60 million people are watching the Super Bowl, or this many people are watching this, or this many people are watching that. What they do is they average it throughout the whole day. My stuff it starts at 12:01 at night, and that's when the viewership starts, and it runs 24 hours a day. So when I'm getting all these viewers, it's a 24-hour period, but I'm also streaming. So when you're on the Mark TV as a brand, or as an advertiser, or as a show, guess what? You're not only on the Mark TV, you're on 20 different streaming networks.
Okay, so wait a minute. Again, this is a fire hose. That's why we record it, so you can go back and listen again. Mark, I have two quick questions for you. So you mentioned, yes, sir, this wonderful woman, Maureen Cooper. You mentioned Hero Champ. So here you have, she bought a Blu-ray. Don't you need permission from the owner of the content to be able
yes.
to?
Yes, Maureen has all the licensing content. Everything we own is legal. Everything we own is licensed content. Every single thing she owns is licensed content and has been for 30 years. Everything Maureen Cooper was providing. First of all, to be honest, her first name is Maureen Cooper, but her last name was Holyfield. She was involved with Larry Evander's brother, Terry Holyfield, back in the day, and her daughter is Priscilla Holyfield. So what happens is her only daughter is in her 30s, and she owns. And then Maureen Maureen had so much content that she was providing HBO, Showtime, Netflix. Any channel out there that needed content, Maureen was providing for it and selling them the content. So she owned and licensed this content for many, 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 many years. Okay, that was the key. So when I met her, she had like, I don't know, $30-40 million worth of content because she was buying these. And now her and her daughter, what they do is they like, people come up and say, hey, listen, it's like a small, like a MMA boxing out of New York. We need to be licensed. Okay, perfect. And our content. So they pay Maureen. She licenses it, and then she gives me I get the MMA boxing, and then she did bare knuckle fighting. I get that. So we did I have camping shows, hunting shows. I have all these shows. Maureen knows all the owners of all these things. She knows what people in Netflix, Showtime, HBO. She knows all the big boys. Every single major CEO of every single streaming channel, Maureen knows.
Okay, this is so much fun. First of all, Mark, huge thank you for being here.
Yeah. And by the way, Maureen we call her the godmother of streaming television, Barry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm loath to say the words I'm saying, but we're coming to a close in our time together now.
Yes, sir.
3 quick questions for you, Mark. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Will you come back again?
Oh, Barry, anytime, man. You're Barry. You're part of the tribe. I love you.
Thank you. I'm back at you, kid. Number 2, Marc Beilin. What is your most fervent desire? You have only 60 seconds to answer that.
To be the biggest television network in the world. I want everybody to be watching on the Mark TV. I want to dominate television. I am becoming a conglomerate. all these people that own these television channels are asking me to take them under me because they're not getting viewership. So right now I'm going to be meeting with the people that own Filipino American television, and I'm being interviewed by them after this. I'm also I'm taking over a disability channel the Disability Network out of Canada. We're taking over multiple channels.
You only had 60 seconds. You want to dominate and be the biggest TV channel in the world.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Number 3, may I give you a hug in front of 5,000
yes.
people in the world?
A virtual hug.
Ready? HUG stands for heartfelt, unlimited giving. Here we come. 1, 2, 3. And
much love, man. You hugged me so tight I coughed.
A big blessing from Mark and Barry. Go forth, live exuberantly, spread the seeds of joy, happiness, peace, and love.
And good Shabbos. Good Shabbos.
And good Shabbos. One moment. Don't go away.